Here we are today. We're going to make some changes to the bike. We're going to get rid of these old death traps and put on some new rubber. Big difference. I've chosen for the front the Michelin Starcross, as recommended by my old mate Albie Mangles of the dirt bikes. And on the back, got a Dunlop. There's the measurements there. When I was at the bike shop, this tyre had the most meat over the 120 centimetres, which is going to be good for me because I do a bit of road and trail. But it's also got a nice deep knobby track in it to get good traction. The Starcross, it's got all these little ridges as well when you get into some finer stuff or slipperier stuff. This is a DO, the same, that's the one I'm going to put on. That's how it's worn. And this is the Starcross. It's worn fairly evenly. It's all about keeping the right air pressure. You keep an eye on your air pressure and you should have a nice even flat wear across the top of your rubber treads, and the same with the rear. Alright, let's get the tools out. We'll get stuck into it, and as usual I'm going to try and use the toolbox that Suzuki supply and see how good we go to start with. Alright, so these are the tools that they've supplied me. We should be able to take this and loosen off the back wheel. We're going to do the back wheel first. Bit of a loose fit, but anyway, I said we give it a go, we'll give it a go. So this is the extension bar tool to give you a bit of extra leverage on there, but I must say it's got a lot of play in that damn thing. But let's just see what happens, eh? Get a bit of the extra leg muscle going. Look at that. That's just garbage. That is actually bent and not even want to stay on there now. I just got it off. You want to throw this crap away. That's absolute garbage. It's bent all in here. What a waste of time. Now well, so we're just going to get the ring spinner out this time. Look at that, that's a nice tight fit too. It's actually, that other thing's worn that nut slightly. Got a slight little groove in there where that little dicky spanner cut in. But I don't like that. There we go. There we go. Just wind that out. One nut, one washer, one spacer. One axle, it's pulled out fairly easy. Look at that, there's no grease on that, it's dry as a nun's. Get a bit more height. I'm just winding it off the chain here. No, that's not as easy as it looks. I've just lifted the chain off from this side and now it's going to come out just like that. I'll just roll around the other side so you can see what's coming out. So all that was there was this spacer, but we're just going to leave that attached. And be careful of these little rubbers as they come out. I'm going to take them out here, put them in to where they should go, rather than misplace them later. That's upside down, Miss Jane. They all have a little groove on one side, so that goes down, roll it back to the top, and they're offset to one side, fat side, small side. Alright, we'll chuck that down. Then we're going to go and take this out and put it on the grass. I'm going to let the air down. It's going to be simply undo the valve cap. I'll go get a tool and take the valve out. There's also a small nut there. We'll undo that fella before we take the tube out. Then we'll go pop it off the rim. So there we go, we've got the valve key. As you can see, that just slips into your valve and like a little spanner undoes the valve inside. Hold it in till you feel it grab, anti-clockwise, just keep going. You just want to be ready to catch it because the air pressure, there you go. And that's the guy there. Don't lose him. Very essential to doing up your tyre. I'm just going to keep going until I can do it with my finger. And that should undo, but it's got a little bit of back pressure on that tube at the moment as it's undone on the inside. There we go. Always important to make sure you've got a little container for these things, or just make sure you do have a surface that won't be interrupted. Okay, I'm going to take that out on the grass now and break the bead. So if I'm ever out on the road, I'm going to have to bust this bead myself. There's a fairly new tyre. And as much as I would like to say I'm a skinny fella, I ain't that skinny, and it's still not popping it. So old Albie Mangles has told me a little trick. That trick is get another mate in his bike, get it over close, and push it down and should pop that bead for you. Just like that. See off? She'll go to the There she goes. You heard the popping sound. That's one. I'll flip him over. Also got a bit of carpet under here just to protect your bits, especially your brake disc. Okay, lift her up, mate. Alright, bring it down. Nicely done. Thank you, sir.
Got it, mate.
Now the fun starts. Key trick to this is lubing up these rubber edges with some soapy water or something like that before you start huffing and puffing. Nothing like a bit of dishwashing liquid. Whether or not you got that out on the site when you're on the side of the road, maybe not. But one thing you might be able to do is take your dipstick. You don't have a dipstick in the DR, but you might be able to just dip something into the hole where the oil is and pull a bit out and rub a bit of oil around it. Bit of engine oil. So before I start to lube it up, these are two typical car tyre levers, but you ain't carrying them around on your bike. This is what I had. I'd cut down a couple of spanners and just ground the end off them. Got a little bend in them, and they go in and they'll pull out your tyre tube, etc. like that. But my old mate Albie, this is his toolkit. He's got a big pipe on the back of his bike, which we'll end up doing, I'm sure. But here's his set of tyre levers here, and they come from Ballard's. Order online. It's got a little curved one end, but what I like about it the most, or one of the things, is there's two types and they've got different size spanners on there. Much better. You get a 17, 14, 12, another 12, 10, 13 and 8. Very handy. He's got 3 of them. He's also got a link press if you've got to change or pull the link out. A couple of spare links. And that's also got an extra link in there, ready to go. And this is what I like. He's got his rubber repair kit. I don't know why he's carrying one of these around. As we learnt, that lasted 2 seconds. But he did add a 10 and 12 mil. He's got a pump system here with a gas canister. You use that in your gas canister and gets the bike started, but then you've got to continue pump, 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 pump to get the rest of the pressure up. But this tool here, it's like a tent peg with an adjustable sleeve, and this is the sort of stuff we like here at DRTV. That is a stand to hold your back wheel off the ground when no one else is around, or goes under the front of the frame to hold the front wheel off the ground. And we'll show you how that works a bit later. Alright, so just put a bit of water on a bit of rag, a couple of drops of this. Found it. A couple of water drops on there. Just going to tuck it in here. As you can see, you got to tread on the tyre and get it below the rim. Soak him up a bit. It's going to make it easier to get off. Don't want to muck around too much with it, because it will dry out and be back doing it again in a second before you even get the wheel off. So even if you just get it on half, the first part where you want to start popping the bead, I'm going to use my little go-to ones for the moment, but you've got to stand on the back here and get it down into this lower, deeper part of the rim, because when you're pulling that tyre that way, it gives you the extra distance. So stand up on your tyre, get under there, try not to pinch your tube, and see how you go. Ooh, pretty much I was getting into that and I didn't like it. There we go. I am determined to get this with my lever, but I can see the benefits to the ones we made as. In fact, they're gone. I ain't got all day to muck around. Starting to dry up on that rubber there. Look at these little pinches. A much better feel to them. Just get one up first, and the other one a bit closer. Now just start at the edge here and keep edging it around. And you'll feel it go, just then it went, which means the bulk of this has actually come over the rim. And now it's fairly easy. You can hop off the tyre. And as you can see, it's a lot easier to get off. The valve's down here. Lift it up, get your fingers in there, push it in, and pull that tube out from the valve first so you know you got it. Out comes your tube, chuck him to one side. Alright, so flip your tyre over. And from this side, you go in reverse. I didn't lube this one up, I should have. Bit hard to see what I'm doing there. Just keep one in there, move it around, force it over, and reverse it until she pops out. One tyre off. Alright, so now we're going to get the big tyre and we're going to lube up both sides. I've got it with the disc up because I'm going to put some pressure on this to get that on there. Just slip it on like that. And if you get it close, you've only got a little bit to put on. First scratch on the rim, eh? Shocking. Okay. And our tube. Find the hole. There it is. Start with that first. Get it up in there. Might feed it around just to get it out of the way.
There you go, I did do that.
There's no air in there at all at the moment. Now the tricky part is get your fingers up in here and feed that in through there, which seems easier than it looks. Mostly fighting the rubber on the top of your knuckles. If you've got big fingers like myself, it's not very nice. But very close. Come on, you bastard.
Oh, you missed that one. Yeah, that one.
Alright, I just got it through. Before I move it, I'll get the nut on there so it won't come back out.
Only a little bit out. So get your tyre behind it.
Alright, leave a bit of play in there. So you got a bit of room, don't do it all the way up. Make sure your tube's in. Tuck it under the rim a bit. Now I'll get the lube again. It's not so much the outside you're lubing up. No, it's helpful. It's underneath this bead. So it has something to slip on the rim. And if you want to wet that rim up, won't hurt you. Just go easy, you don't want to be pinching onto your tube. So I've just got it around. Got it started. Now I'm going to turn it around, put my foot on there and get that down low. Edging one side around, just work one side. Keep topping them over until it gets tight. It's starting to get a bit tight now. And that's when you've got to make sure you got the back end down in here. Now just start taking little smaller bites, just to ease it around. Get some more lube on there, I think. Bit of lube on these too, I think. Help that tyre slide on it. Trying to be very careful not to keep scratching this rim. I think it'd be good if they made a rubber set, not a rubber set, but very hard plastic set or something. There we go. Righto. Now inside here you can see that the tube is just sitting underneath the rubber, so I'm just lifting that up, just edging it off it where the valve is. That's what's giving me the trouble. No, it's still under there. So I'm going to just tread on this side, get that bead down. That should fix it. See how it goes now. Alright, I'm going to put the valve back in it and give it some air. Right, time for some air. So I just want to put a bit in there. I might have to flip that around. So make sure I've got some air in there to fill out that tube. I don't like that. I'll let it back down. It hasn't seated up here, so I'm going to have to put some more lubrication there just to get it to pop out.
Shows you how long ago it was. The old Nokia in the fucking...
Alright, so let's put it all back together. Just got to get these little grooves over these ones. Actually, I think I'm going to do it the other way. I'm taking them out, putting them in there. And then slide that bugger into there like that. That looks better. Bit of axle grease. Slide that in too. Make sure it's nice and snug. Before I even attempt to put the tyre on. Alright, that feels nice and greasy now. Don't put it back in the dirt though. Put it to one side. And then we'll get ready to slip this tyre in. This is what's called the old spit test. Put a bit of spit on there, and you make a little bubble over it, like a film, and if no air's coming out, it won't pop immediately. That didn't pop immediately, which means my valve's nice and sealed, so there won't be any slow leaks in that. And there you have it, one back wheel. Pull the screwdriver out, all of it, and we're good to go.